Okay, in this lesson, we discuss Substance support in Arnold for Cinema 4D. If you go to share.substance3d.com, you can download tons of amazing and free assets and use them inside Arnold for Cinema 4D or Cinema 4D itself. And if you have Substance products, you can generate your own Substance assets and use it here in Arnold. If I go to the material section on the left side, we have different categories to choose from. In the metal section, I have downloaded this industrial metal asset, and you can create an account and download your own asset. In this case, let's see if we can get this industrial metal look using Arnold. Let's get back to Cinema 4D. And the first thing you need to do is to load that Substance asset in Cinema 4D. From the extensions menu, go to the Substance engine and choose Load Substance. I have put my downloaded asset in the text folder of the project files folder. Now you just need to select this industrial metal walkway.sbsar file. As soon as you do so, you can see that particular asset has been added to your Substance Asset Manager, and a new Cinema 4D material based on that asset has been added to the material manager, but we want to create an Arnold material using this asset. So let's put this Substance Asset Manager aside, create a new Arnold shader network, and assign it to this cube in the scene. And this cube has an Arnold parameters tag applied to. The subdivision is set to linear with 8 iterations. In the shader network, in order to load that Substance asset, you need to add a Substance shader to the network. And the first thing we need to do is to define the Substance asset. So from the Substance Manager, drag and drop the asset in the asset field of the shader. Now let's get back to the shader network. In the Substance shader, if you click on this triangle besides asset, we can see some of the different channels and textures that this particular asset has, and also some other settings that are specific to this asset. For example, we can change the amount of rust on our textures using this rust amount parameter. In the output section, we can see all the textures that this asset provides. We have a base color texture, a normal texture, roughness, metallic or metalness, ambient occlusion, and height or displacement textures. Different assets can have more or less textures compared to this asset. Now we can use these textures to control different attributes of a standard surface shader. First of all, let me increase the rust amount to 0.6 and set the random seed to 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever you want. And all the textures will be adjusted accordingly and in real time. Also, let's change the overall resolution for these textures to 2K. Let me close this asset reference by clicking on this triangle here. And down here, using this channel option, we can decide which of the channels or textures we want to use and export. So I'm going to create a new Arnold standard surface shader and set it as the beauty shader. Increase the base weight to 1. In the Substance shader node, make sure the channel is set to base color. So you're exporting the base color texture from this node. Now connect this texture to the base color of our standard surface shader and connect the standard surface shader to the beauty port. Now we are using these base color textures as our base color. The next map we want to use is the metallic map or metalness map, and this will be connected to the metalness input of our standard surface shader. So let's control drag our existing Substance shader, change the output channel to metallic and connect it to the metalness input. For specular roughness, I'm going to be using this roughness map here. So let's create a copy of our Substance shader and change the channel to roughness and connect it to the specular roughness. And finally, let's add some displacement mapping. So add a displacement map, connect it to the Arnold displacement port, create another copy from one of the existing Substance shaders, and the texture we want to use for displacement mapping is height. So select that and set the scale of the displacement map to something around 0.02, 0.05, 0.1. Now we have this beautiful Arnold shader that was possible thanks to Substance Asset and Substance Shader. Now the crazy thing is I can control how the shader looks in real time. For example, let's say I want a bit more rust on my shader. I just need to go to my shader network editor and select one of the substance shaders that are referencing our substance asset. And let's increase the rust amount to, let's say, 0.8. And this will immediately gives us a rustier look and adjusts all the other textures in the network. Also, there is actually quite an easier way to convert your substance materials to Arnold standard surface. What you need to do after adding the substance asset to the substance manager is just select the asset in the manager, and in the Arnold menu, utility menu, and material menu, select convert the selected substance asset to an Arnold material. And as you can see, we get a new Arnold standard surface being created automatically using that substance asset, and all the textures are connected. Some of them sometimes don't get connected for whatever reason, and you need to add them manually, but most of the textures are connected to the right inputs of the standard surface shader. And if there is an issue, you can actually come here and adjust it manually. So that's about substance support in Arnold for Cinema 4D. See you in the next lesson.